It's time for Focus Forward, sponsored by Invest Grand Bahama. It's Grand Bahama's best talk show, highlighting all of the positive things happening in Freeport.
Look forward to our special guests each week that will tell you about events, activities, and initiatives that are making a remarkable impact on our community.
You'll also hear from local business owners and get a heads up on deals and special promotions. It's time to Focus Forward.
Hi everyone, and welcome back to another informative episode of Grand Bahama's Best Talk Show, Focus Forward. I'm Glendia Sweeting, Manager of Quality Assurance at the Grand Bahama Port Authority, and I am joined by my co-host. Why is she leaning next to me? I could feel her. I don't even have to see. I could feel her. My co-host, Alex Thompson, who is the Director of Public Affairs at the Downtown Freeport Business Association. Alex, good day.
Good day.
How you doing?
Well, today I'm what do you call it? Honorary artist. Today. Honorary artist today.
Who made you an honorary
The
artist?
artist here at ArtLucaya made me an honorary artist. Do you
I
not see?
am going to cross-check that because I'm not sure.
Do you
that
not
that's
see that I'm wearing all the the colors and I
Quite
match
nice.
some of the stuff like some of our artists like Chantal Bethel with the crackle that she does. Doesn't that look like one of her paintings, one of her creations?
Not exactly, but okay. Hers is much better.
We need to move on with the show.
Right.
They don't want to tear us all the time.
They don't want to hear us. I agree. And then sometimes they do. But we're very happy to have you joining us today. We are live on location at the ArtLucaya Marketplace, and we are sitting in one of the galleries that was curated by the ArtLucaya Group, which is a makeup of Grand Bahamian artists from the Artists Association and also independent artists. And so we wanted to have a deep conversation with some of them to understand what is actually happening here. And I know that in the background you can see some of it, but we're going to be showing you a whole lot more during the course of this show. We are so delighted to be here. The event, the festival, was last weekend, April 12th through to the 14th.
Weekend of events.
Yes. And it was done exceptionally well. So we certainly want to congratulate all of the artists that would have been a part of the show and the Grand Bahama Port Authority for being one of the major sponsors of the event. But Alex, just before we get into it, we have our housekeeping to-dos.
Housekeeping.
And we want to thank the persons that allow us to be able to have this show for our audiences. And they would be advertising, marketing, they would be Visible Changes, who makes me look visibly beautiful every week, and of course Invest Grand Bahama Small Business Bureau. Yes.
And of course you, all of our listeners and our watchers. And if you want to have an opportunity to be on Focus Forward, all you have to do is send us an email that says, I want to be on the show at info@gbpa.com.
Perfect. And we also want to say a special thank you to OMG Couture, who would have sponsored me for today. And we appreciate that. And Pick Hair Beauty Center.
Pick Hair Beauty Center. All right.
Yes.
You're looking
So we
fancy
want to say
today.
thank you very much for giving us this opportunity. Now we want to get into our conversation, and we're so happy to welcome for the first time in some cases, and also welcome back in some cases, some of our artists here from Grand Bahama Island. And we're always very excited to have you guys join us.
Yes.
And today is no different. So the first set of persons that we want to welcome to the show would be Miss Elisa Streether, artist here, Grand Bahama Island. We have Mrs. Chantal Bethel, who Alex would have spoken about in the beginning, and I'm sure you're going to tell us about your wonderful pieces that are even better than Alex's dress. And we also, last but certainly not least, Mr. Leo Brown, who's joining us for the first time, and it's certainly a pleasure to have you with us. So let's get into the conversation, because we want to talk about ArtLucaya. And before we get into your individual pieces, if you guys can help us to kind of appreciate what would have happened last weekend. This is the second annual show. Last year was the first show. All of you participated in the first show. And so you're back again for the second time. What does that mean for Grand Bahama, and what happened here? You want to go first?
Whatever, sure. Well, I mean, this was amazing. ArtLucaya 2024. We had people of all walk of life submitted work for the exhibition, and including students, and they were amazing. And I think the art works have brought the community together on this island. And this is what we really wanted to do. And we look forward to a lot more about this. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, so Elisa, give us
I
your
think
take.
people were excited. Obviously, we had a lot more artists, professional, as well as those who do it for a hobby. And we had a lot more schools this year as well participate. And so I think people were excited about that. I think Nassau is getting jealous. And I'm sure the Family Islands also are looking at us and thinking, we should do that too. We need to do that too. But I think it's very exciting for the artists themselves to have a venue, someplace where you can exhibit work and sell work, and then expose you to locals as well as international persons coming to Grand Bahama.
That's right.
Imagine that, just for art.
Just for art.
Right.
Right.
Art tourism.
Yes.
Yes, creative tourism. I
Just
love it.
for
I love
Totally.
it.
Not by the way there is art, just for art.
Just for art.
Just
Yes.
for
Exactly.
art.
Just for art. So I love that. Okay, Leo, tell us about your experience with ArtLucaya.
Well, I think it has been a fabulous experience. I think it's a good thing for the community of Grand Bahama. And we have new people buying second homes here on the island and looking for artwork for their homes. So I think it's great for them to see what we have to offer here in Grand Bahama.
Okay. What I like about ArtLucaya is it brought all of the artists around. It wasn't just simply Bahamian artists, but grand Bahamian artists. So
Yeah.
this festival is all about Lucaya. So yes, Elisa, as the other islands look, let them know this is ours. And we did it first. You know, we like to let you know we did it first. Now tell us now, we know you would have been commissioned or submit specific pieces just for this particular event. Tell us about what you submitted.
Okay, so the piece I submitted was, because it is Show Me Emotion. I'm a teacher, and so Junior Junkanoo is my basic theme that I used. And my piece is based on primary school Junior Junkanoo this year, and I called it Junkanoo Sprites. Now, sprites are like fairies. They're very active, and when we were children, when we used to be carefree without a care in the world, we used to enjoy anything and everything, and especially making noise and dancing and moving. So when you put primary school kids out on the road, they're dressed up in their costumes, they can't wait to get out there, and parents are screaming and hollering and cheering for them. I think that is what, some of them will shine. Like they go out there and they let everybody know, see me, see me. And it was funny because when I went over, there were some young persons from the student exhibit, and they were striking the poses from my painting, but I didn't catch the picture. I thought that would have been so great to be able to catch the picture of them trying to strike the poses. And so I have, obviously, drummers. Nobody likes to hear them when they're practicing, but everybody loves to hear them when they're doing Junkanoo.
Right.
And so I think the idea of allowing them to go out there and express themselves culturally, as well as just be able to move. You know, you're always telling them, sit down, keep still, don't make any noise. Now you tell them, go out there and make as much noise as you want, and music and dance as much as you want, and they probably go home tired, but guess what? They totally enjoy it. They totally
fulfilled the
enjoy it.
theme.
And so
Show
that's
me
what I
emotion.
wanted to evoke in my painting, Junkanoo Sprites.
Junkanoo
Okay.
Sprites. I love it. And I'm getting excited just listening to you, right?
Does your son participate in Junkanoo?
Right, yes.
He does?
Yes.
Are you out
well,
there with
when he
him
was
too?
when he was a little younger,
little
he,
younger.
he hasn't done it since he's been in high school.
Oh, he's high school now.
Yeah, because
All
he's,
right.
you know, well, you know how that goes when you become a teenager, so it's a little different. But let's move on to Mrs. Bethel. Mrs. Bethel, you know, so as I mentioned before, you did ArtLucaya in the first year.
Yes.
You also have international experience.
Yes.
You've had an opportunity to also be internationally recognized. So seeing ArtLucaya and participating in this show with your pieces, what was that like specifically for you when you compare what we have here to what you've experienced around the world?
Well, of course, it depends on where you're exhibiting, you know, around the world. But, you know, this ArtLucaya was great because we have professional artists here as well. And we also have people who are just beginners. But it was fine. Each artist, we each work on our own, and we bring the work out. So for when I looked at the statement, the theme for the show, Show Me Your Emotion, the first thing that came to my mind was peace. Because when you turn on the TV all the radio, all you hear is murders in Nassau, war in Palestine and Israel, and violence in Haiti. So this is something that really, I wanted to touch really, closely. But what happened as we were curating, I'm also part of the curating team, and Lisa Codella and I actually had the same concept. It was very close. She was doing the same thing with the Japanese garden and creating these wonderful bells. And they were ceramic bells, and it is about peace as well. So we decided to actually collaborate at this point. So we created what we called Peace Quest. And the different pieces that I have are paintings, and also have a light piece, which is about to help healing, to promote harmony and peace in the world. So I created this light, which at the base of the light we had all the crosses for all the people who died. And so to continue in the peace thought, I decided I imagined peace, I felt peace, I shared peace, I spread peace, and I celebrated peace. And together our work are totally in harmony.
It worked in harmony together. And you had a separate room for your work.
Yes, we had a separate room because, as I said, we were actually curating the show, and no one wanted to go in that room because it was all the way in the back of the gallery, and the floor was dark, and the light wasn't appropriate, and there were shelves on the wall. So we decided to reconstruct the whole room. And if you go in there now, it looks very peaceful.
And you feel the peace when you walk in.
Absolutely.
I can definitely say that inside that room.
That was the idea.
That
so
was
I'm
it.
glad that you felt the peace.
So again, we showed, Elisa used the Junkanoo Sprite, all action, and you used to be peaceful for yours. Now, Leo, tell us about your experience. Really?
Yes.
Okay, when I heard that the theme this year for the show was Show Me Emotion, I decided to submit a piece called Field of Joy. Now, Field of Joy, it's a very colorful piece. And when I did the painting, I wanted when people look at the picture, it put them in a happy mood. So I decided to use all the colors on the mixing palette. So Field of Joy is about the celebration of women. Women can accomplish enormous things, individually and particular, as long as they come together. I use 7 women because 7 is a spiritual number depicting completion. So it represents the complete woman. Out of many, they are one. Where there's unity, there's power. So if you have 1 pencil, you could easily break that pencil. But if you have 2 pencils, it's harder to break. If you have 10 pencils, you can't break it at all. So when people come together in unity, I think it's strength in numbers.
Mahida, a whole message,
Yes.
a whole little message right inside there. I was about to say amen. Chantal, I was hoping you would talk about how my dress looks kind of inspirational. Instead of your crackle work.
I mean, it's not
I
all about
literally
you, but-
thought about you when I put this on today.
And I can
Oh, you
understand-
did?
I can understand why.
Aw, that's very sweet.
Well, the white popping out.
Yes,
and
the white
blue,
popping
yes.
out. I thought about it, because
You
when-
got a compliment on the white.
Yes.
Okay, there's a whole thing. I'm feeling.
Yes.
We're gonna go stand
Take
next
it.
to one of her
Yeah.
her creations, and we'll be next to it.
We'll take it. It is
And
a
it's-
beautiful dress.
Yes.
But I want to talk a little bit about that work that you do. It's so detailed, and I mean, how much time do you ever have an idea of time that it takes you to finish one piece?
Well, it's very difficult to say because the work is not only manual. First, it starts in the brain, the heart, the brain. I have to first think about it, and then I go, to the material and whatever I'm doing. If we're talking about how long it takes to start the work, I can't give you time because sometimes I wake up in the middle of the night and I'm thinking about it.
Okay.
So I cannot give you how long. It can take very long. And so with the material itself, it's a gel that you apply on the surface. And with the temperature, it cracks after 2 or 3 or 4 or 5 days, depending whether it's humid or not in the room, or if the sun is shining, it will crack. Sometimes it takes more than a week to crack properly. And when it cracks, everything is white. And then the reason why I use the crackle, I discovered that in Vancouver when I was doing classes in Vancouver. And what I like about it is it cracks and lets you see what's beyond the surface. And I compare that with my philosophy in life, is nothing is straightforward. You very often have to go beyond the surface to find the truth.
Okay.
And that's the reason why I use it.
So, Elisa, can we talk a little bit about the student work? I know right now we're sitting, is this the Tanama or the Kanoa?
This is the Kanoa Gallery.
This is the Kanoa Gallery. And then the one just next door, again, we're in ArtLucaya Marketplace. So we are just on the front strip, right? And so we're sitting in the Kanoa Gallery, but the Tanama Gallery is just next door, so you can, take in both at the same time. But on Sunday, there was the Colibri Gallery, which was just dedicated to the students for local student artists. So tell us a little bit about the work that the students would have done and what the names of some of the schools that would have participated.
Okay, so last year we had about 3 schools that participated: Jack Hayward Senior, BMES, and 8 Mile Rock. And this year we have 5 schools. We have Jack Hayward Senior, BMES, 8 Mile Rock, Lucayan International, and Sunland. And one of the things last year is all of the schools benefited from ArtLucaya because all of the proceeds that were collected were distributed amongst all the high schools that have art departments.
Right.
And it was hoped that based on that, they would be inspired then to join ArtLucaya this year.
Right.
And I think because students start off doing things, but it's up to the teacher really to push, because they have so many things going on. I have to say we have exams and everything else, but we have some students who are dedicated. So I have students personally who were in ArtLucaya last year, who came back this year. They improved. They went from paper to canvas this year. We have schools, obviously, who the teacher realized, okay, the funds that were given to us, we could purchase items on island that we needed that you can't always get here.
Okay.
And so the businesses were very good with bringing items in, because I asked the art teachers, what are you looking for? What do you want? And they were willing to bring those things in. Now the students, oh my goodness. The students came to the exhibit and they were able to talk about their work, which I think is an experience most of them don't understand. But one student actually told me from LIS that what he liked wasn't just that the student work was there, but the students themselves were there. So he was able to talk to students from other schools, because you usually see the students only at your school. It's like a bubble.
Right.
One of the things, he was able to talk to like-minded persons, and that's like artists. When we get together and we see each other's work and we talk about each other's work, that's inspiring. For students, this is something they don't always get. So now they're talking to other students who have created works in the Colibri Gallery, and they can put their works on sale. Some of the students sold last year, which is exciting. Now they're entrepreneurs. I always tell my kids that if you don't want to do it as a career, who can't make extra money on the side?
Exactly.
Right. And so I think that was something inspiring for them. I think the teachers who were able to get students to finish, because a lot really tried, they just couldn't get them to finish.
Right.
Deadlines are a thing that artists don't do well with, I can tell you. We're always working until the very last minute, but it was really, really good to give them the opportunity to have persons come in, talk to them about their work, let them express themselves, learn how to express themselves.
Yes.
Because a lot of times, even as an adult and a professional artist, I find it difficult to talk to people about my work. Students, sure, I can talk to students all day. Adults are a little, they either like your work or they don't.
Right.
But the thing, because it's so subjective, it's very personal to the artist.
Right, it's personal
because
to the
this
artist,
is your
exactly.
expression. So I think it's a good experience for the students. And to have 5 schools now instead of 3, I think is fantastic. And so the idea is that we're going to have all of the high schools. So maybe if once we get those ideas out there and the theme is given to all of the teachers, I think we're going to get more. But I mean, the work has really, really improved. The work is wonderful. It's so exciting. And then they got to come over and see the show
The
that was
professional
up.
work.
Right.
Right.
And I think that was also inspiring because there were artists here that they could ask questions.
And they
I'm
And so
hearing-
that's exciting.
I'm hearing that there needs to be a Grand Bahama Junior Artists Association of some sort, right? It's always good to have the students come together, but when you said that they were there and they saw each other, they met
Right.
each other, they spoke with each other, they were obviously talking the same language.
Correct.
And so to be able to foster that, still support the schools through the program, but to be able to foster that, because obviously as professional artists, you guys already have an association or you're independent, and you can also provide mentorship for these young artists.
Correct.
You know, you know exactly what you're doing. You know how to do it. You guys were able to work with the Grand Bahama Port Authority to get everything curated, and it's so wonderful. So what can you do to pass that on to the next?
So I personally do have a youth group called Grand Bahama Artists. And this is persons who would have left school and still want to pursue art, but they're not old enough to join the Grand Bahama Artists Association. You have to be an adult, 18 years or older.
Okay.
So there's a gap
Okay.
between high school and there. So I have students and young artists who I mentor. And so we have our own group chat. I have a page for them on Facebook, and they actually did, 2 years ago, I let them have their own booth at Festival Noel, and they had to man the booth themselves. And so for me, I don't like to see, when I see talent in school, I don't like to see it go to waste. So then they give numbers to other persons. I have a person who wants to join. Can they join?
Right.
Sure, share my number. I have no
Okay,
problem.
right.
And so that's one of the things I personally do because we have so much talent.
I think it's a great start.
Yes.
And I think you should continue because this is the way it happened. You don't have to have an association, just to have a group of young artists working together with someone guiding them. And I think that's really a great start. Congratulations.
Now we've done ArtLucaya, this is year 2. And obviously, with so much more artists participating, what do you see for ArtLucaya in year 3?
What's next?
What was the
What's
question?
next?
What is
Oh,
going
year
on?
3.
Art for
Well,
year
let me
3.
tell you.
Tell me.
Freeport will be 70 years old next year. So we should celebrate in grand style ArtLucaya.
I think we already hear a little bit of that theme coming out.
Sound like a-
Independence related.
Yes, of course, of course.
Yes.
Sounds like we just need to give the number 70 and see what they come up with.
Well, they
I
can,
wish we could have picked the theme, but you know, it's okay.
we will pick the theme.
That's fine.
Okay.
That's
All
fine.
right.
Yes.
Well, I would like you to know that I posted the ArtLucaya previous Focus Forward show on my Facebook page, and people literally called in from Nassau. They wanted to know, oh, when is this happening? Why this is only in Grand Bahama? And I said, you need to come here to see it.
Yes.
Right.
This is specifically for Grand Bahama.
Well, I was in Nassau last weekend, and everybody was talking about ArtLucaya, and I told them next year they will be personally invited. and I have to mention this. I had a phone call last week, a mother calling, her 5-year-old would like to be part of ArtLucaya and the Artists Association. I thought that was so cute. Unfortunately, she was too young.
But maybe next year she'll have an opportunity to be a part of ArtLucaya when she's only, what, 6?
It's a special, it must be a special segment. We're going to
Right.
need more spaces now.
Right, we're going to need some more space, but
We will.
certainly we want to
Definitely
thank
is.
our guests.
That's what we need.
We
Yes.
want to thank our guests and, you know, just to let you guys know that we appreciate you. And this has been a wonderful experience being a part of the committee on the GBPA side for ArtLucaya for a second year. And I can tell you, Alex, that they work exceptionally hard. All of the professional, the immersion, and the student artists, it takes time. The artist call usually goes out in about October. So they put months of work.
Yes,
So
I
I
know
can
it.
imagine how many nights that you really
Yes.
did not sleep
Right,
because you were
exactly.
thinking about what
Yes.
needed to be done and what you really wanted to express.
We really appreciate you too.
Yes. Our pleasure. It's our pleasure. But we're always very, very grateful to have an opportunity to be with these artists. And we have more artists coming. So we don't want you guys to go anywhere. We definitely want you to stay tuned. And we do have one of the younger artists joining us as well.
The student artist,
And so
yes.
the student artist. So, and she is from Lucayan International School, and certainly, you know, we're very, very excited about being able to hear that. But we want to encourage you as well. So Port Lucaya Marketplace, both galleries, Tanama and the Kanoa galleries, you can access them from either the back or the front of Port Lucaya Marketplace. But if you're driving along the front street, you cannot miss it. They're just before you get to Oasis.
Yes.
To give you a
Close to the
a little
fountain.
direction, close to the fountain.
Right.
So you'll see all the signs, you'll see everything. And there are some beautiful ladies that are actually working inside the galleries. Elizabeth is working in the gallery. Sarah is working in the gallery. So please come out, come and take a look. Make sure you see what's here. And of course, plan to purchase. We have there's some signage here. Canoe is the vendor that's providing the payment purchases for a second year for the show as well. So we want to encourage you guys, come out and take a look. Bring your family, bring your children.
That's right.
Yes, and the student gallery as well.
Can we get a book where persons can write comments to inspire the students who would have joined?
Oh, well, that's something that can work among the artist community. If you guys want to do that, that's quite fine.
Okay.
Make it happen. Make it happen. And I'm sure the students would appreciate that.
Right.
They would appreciate that. So listen, we're going to take a quick commercial break. We will be right back, but don't you go anywhere. Stay right there and join us for our second segment where we hear from more Grand Bahama artists. So we'll be right back right after this.
Hi, I'm Diana, here at Home Fabrics. We are located on Milton and Keach Street, where we have the largest selection of independence, fabric, and upholstery, indoor and outdoor, olefin, as well as party items. As we come into the new season now for Mother's Day, we have a large selection of Mother's Day items, teachers' appreciation, as well as graduation. We have canvases and art supplies, and the biggest selection of balloons that you will find. Our friendly and knowledgeable staff are eager, willing, and ready to serve you. Our store hours are 9 a.m. to 5:30 p.m., Monday through Saturday. We're closed on holidays and Sundays. Come and visit us here at Home Fabrics. It's Home Fabrics or nothing.
Welcome to Freeport, the reawakened, the reimagined, the rebirth, the Renaissance capital of the Bahamas. Over $1.5 billion in investments. Marinas, cruise ports, downtown revitalization, residential developments. We're putting the city on the map. Want to know more? Just log on. Your future is only a click away.
Welcome back, everyone. We're here on Grand Bahama's Best Talk Show, Focus Forward. We are having a wonderful day talking about ArtLucaya with the Grand Bahamian artists, those that are a part of the association, and also those that are independent artists. And just off the break, we were just having a conversation about art. Everything that's happening within the city of Freeport. We were talking about the mural that's done by one of the Grand Bahamian artists, Ben Ferguson Jr., in the downtown area, that Alex put a flower on.
No. Don't diminish my work. When you look at the mural,
I have to see it
I'm
first.
gonna let everybody know. When you look at the mural, there's some yellow palm or leaves on the left side.
Is that yours? That's
Listen,
not yours.
Hold on, wait.
Okay.
I applied the blue shadow on each one of those little leaves. So when you go look at those palm leaves, I applied the blue. Blue looks like this.
Right. So you didn't do the leaves.
No, I
You
applied
did
the blue shadow.
Shadow.
It's a community project.
And the shadow was
Community.
your contribution.
That was my contribution.
On the entire mural.
I could have done more, but we ran out of time.
Okay. Well, we appreciate you, going through that artistic experience and your contributions to that community mural.
therapeutic.
And we're going to go and we're going to take a look at it.
we
And we want to
can.
congratulate all of the persons that would have been a part of that community mural. It's a wonderful piece. I understand it may not be 100% completed yet, but it's almost there. And it really is beautiful.
Tell them
so
where it
we
is.
love that. It's downtown. It's on one of the walls of the 17 Center.
Yes.
That's just
In
off
the
Bank Lane,
heart
across
of
from Bank of the
downtown.
Bahamas. So right in the heart of downtown.
That's
You
right.
get this one, I give you this one. Right smack center in the heart of downtown, centrally located. Please go out and take a look. And because you live here and because you love art as well, let's take some Instagrammable photos.
Okay.
Let's let the world know what persons are doing here in the artist community and in the community within the city of Freeport. So I thought that was really sweet, really exciting, and I'm so happy that it went well. And so let's get on to our show for today.
One more thing I just want to say. I don't know if you remember it, but Antonius Roberts, OBE, who spoke at Artist Talk that we had last week, one of the things he said is he believes that Grand Bahama has the potential to be
Right.
the art capital of the Bahamas.
He did. He also pledged his support
For 5
as
years.
long as this particular artist group continues to work within the city of Freeport. He's pledged his support for 5 years, and I
5
thought
years.
that was commendable.
Do you know what that means?
What does that mean?
We're talking about
You asked the
Antonius-
question, so yeah.
We're talking about Antonius Roberts, OBE. That means he's pledging his time, he's
Yeah.
pledging his effort, he's pledging his intelligence, his influence
Right.
to help grow this amazing
And we want it all.
event.
And we want it all.
All.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Just so you
So we
know.
appreciate that. And the artist talk, by the way, that Alex is referring to was on Saturday past, April 13th. And the show last year also had an artist talk. And you know what? Speaking of artist talk, we do have some persons here that are joining us in this segment that was a part of the artist talk.
That's right.
So we're going to have an artist talk with them. So this is going to get really, really interesting really quickly. And so we want to welcome our guests, all of them for the first time to the show. Very first time. Mrs. Claudette Dean, thank you so much for joining us, artists here. Yes, a pleasure to have you. And you were a part of ArtLucaya last year as well.
Yes, I was.
Wonderful. And then we have our student artist, Miss Jeanette Francois. How are you?
I'm good.
Thank you for joining us. And you were a part of the artist talk as well.
Yes, Mom.
Yes, you were good. She inspired me. We're going to talk about
inspired you?
She inspired me. And we'll talk about that in a moment. And then we have Mr. Denzel Lightbourne. Thank you so much.
Pleasure to be here. Thank you for inviting me.
This is
Yes.
ArtLucaya year 2, correct?
Yeah,
For you.
year two for me.
Year 2 for him. Actually, I met Denzel right after he was recognized. I believe it was by Central Bank of the Bahamas some time ago, several years ago.
Yeah, that was, yeah.
Yeah, several years
That was
ago.
like 2018, 19?
Yes,
Around that
I
time,
believe.
yeah.
Yes, I believe that was about 2018.
Yeah.
And so it's been some time. He's been at it before then, but certainly a decorated artist as well, as along with our other artists that are joining us. And so we're just so excited to have you, and we want to continue this conversation. ArtLucaya, second year, second annual, bigger and better, more artists, professional and emerging, more student artists, and more opportunities for great expression under the theme, Show Me Your Motion. And so, Ms. Dean, tell us a little bit about your work. What is it that persons coming to visit the gallery here in Port Lacaya Marketplace can expect when they look for your work?
Well, they can expect a lot of symbolism because I love symbolism in my work, and you'll find it throughout my work. So when I considered the theme, Show Me Your Motion, I thought, okay, what is your motion? And the circle is the first thing that came to mind for me because I love circles. I've always used them in my work. Anybody who knows me knows rings are my thing.
You've got circles all over you now.
All over there. It's true.
Earrings,
Even the earrings, I forgot.
bracelets,
Yeah, I
yes.
love
The
circles.
bracelets,
You know,
yes.
my first one-woman show is about the circle of life, and so circle is definitely my motion. And you know, the circle is used a lot in a lot of different cultures and spiritual traditions. You know, we have prayer circles, we have mandalas, we have dream catchers. So it spans a lot of different cultures where it's used as a symbol. And for me, you know, it has no beginning and no end. So for me, it's really a symbol of the Creator and of the creative force and of life in general. So So the circle is where I started, and you can't consider Show Me Your Motion without thinking of dancers.
Right.
And so that's the next thing that came to my mind. And a lot of traditions use dance, and especially spinning or dancing in a circle, to achieve some type of transformation, some type of healing, even transcendence. And so that is what my work is about. And practically speaking, I think originally we were supposed to do some smaller pieces. So when I went in my inventory and picked out some smaller canvases, I had the idea that I could actually create one piece using 2 smaller canvases and put them in a frame. And so one of the pieces, I have 3 pieces like that. One of the canvases within the piece is got the circle and the dancer, and the other smaller piece speaks of transformation or healing or that kind of thing. And then going through the inventory, I found a 3-dimensional structure that I had done maybe 10 years ago for a piece that that became a larger piece, so it was really too small. It became my Bahamian sunflower, and I actually could sit on. So that the structure I had was way too small, and I thought, I could do something with that piece as well. So Sheldon Saint came over, and I asked him to put it on a round pedestal for me and attach another piece, and so it became a 3-dimensional piece that really uses the circle, the dancer. I also have lotuses on it, which is a symbol, another symbol I love to use because it's about overcoming, coming through the mud, and being perfect, and it also has the sun on top. It has the white dove for peace and freedom, and then I have a larger piece that is one lady dancing, and I created movement on the piece with the composition itself, with the way. I wish I could show it, the way the flowers go up, her arms are going like that. So the actual composition created a lot of movement, as well as her dress. On the dress, she has ribbons, and they're all moving different ways. And a few people caught it. A few people asked if they were Sanskrit, because that was actually the idea behind it. But I transformed the ribbons into, the Sanskrit into ribbons, because I don't really know Sanskrit. But and that came from Rumi. I don't know if the audience would know. Rumi is a Sufi poet, beautiful poetry, and and so that idea to use that kind of imagery came, and then a poem by Rumi, a piece of a poem came to mind, which is "Free my soul, that we might dance, and that our dance might be infectious."
Okay, all
and
this
so,
talk about
right?
dance
Yeah.
makes me think that I need to get up in the circle and
there
dance.
you go.
Dance.
Ring,
Go ahead.
ring play. Yeah.
Miss Francois.
She's not serious.
After the show. After the show.
We'll keep the cameras rolling.
Keep the cameras rolling. I promise you I will dance after the show in a circle. In honor of Claudette's
There you
circles
go.
and her dancing ladies and the
There you
hands
go.
going like this, I will ensure
Yes,
that
you
that
will
happens.
do all of that.
We will show it on the show afterwards.
We'll call that the bloopers.
Now, I'm like you. I was very inspired by Jonette's piece, particularly that they were all spiritually based,
Yes.
which I absolutely love. And so a lot of people didn't come to Artist Talk, but I would love you to share your inspiration behind those pieces, because it just, as you said, it inspired Glendia, but it also just blew my mind, especially being a young artist.
Yes, that was the most impressive part, because you don't expect young artists to have, their thoughts to go so deep,
That's it.
and then to have the ability to express that in a piece.
That's
and
true.
so it was so amazing. So, Jonette, tell us about your pieces.
So, as you guys know, I attend LIS, and we do IB art there. And in IB art, there's a set theme that you yourself choose. And so, for me personally, I chose spiritual warfare, and I chose that because my motion personally is to be a vessel for God and to spread His word. And through that, I wanted my audience, when I come here, I wanted their motion to be standing firm in their relationship, taking that first step. And so my art, basically what it's about, my first piece is talking about it depicts the crucifixion basically what had to be done in order to give us a chance at heaven and that paradise. And the title of that piece is At What Cost? And it's contradicting, and it's saying, at what cost did Jesus go through all of this pain and just this gruesome thing if we still choose to be lukewarm and give half of our life to him? And that's when I went on to my second piece, which is, I call it The Board of Sins, but the real title I have for it is A Worldly Affair. And so it has different sins of this world, like drinking, smoking, gossiping, many different stuff. And I also have TV shows and musical artists on there as well, because I believe that what you watch and what you listen to can influence who you are and the decisions that you make. And so on that piece as well, I have handcuffs, and the handcuffs symbolize our attachment to those sins, because at the end of the day, like I said earlier in like my different interviews, we are human and we will sin as long as we are here on earth. But that is why Jesus died for our sins, to give us a chance again. And my last piece is angel wings that I made out of mulch. And in the background is like a personal prayer that I say every morning and every night. And the wings is just a symbol of unity. And for everyone, whether you have the best relationship with God or not, whether you have one or not, it's for everyone. And I really want to make that piece because at my school, we don't have a religion class. I grew up very religious, especially being here in a Christian nation. And so I wanted, like I said, as a vessel, and in order to be a vessel, you cannot be afraid to, speak your mind and share the word of God. And so that was just for everyone, like I said.
I think you were loud and clear with your pieces. There was no mistaking the way you described it here today. That is what I felt. That is what I interpret from your pieces, the one with all the different sins, and as well as the one with the angel wings and the prayer. I thought it was an exceptional expression of your thought after I heard you at Artist Talk, and even today.
Yes.
And so you must come out to the student exhibition and see the work that this young lady has put out there.
Yes, amazing. And
It
all of them as well. I think another piece that comes to mind is one of the student pieces where there's a photo of a parent just at the top left, and there's some puppet strings.
Right.
Now there are some things, and I won't say what it is because I want to give you an opportunity to come and take a look, but those strings are attached to some things that are obviously impacting the parents. But just over to the right, there's a child.
Yes.
And the child has a hand
Over her mouth.
Yes, you saw it,
Yes,
right?
I did.
So you can understand the message.
I understand the message, so you need to come see it. We're not going to give you all of it.
Yes, but these pieces from the student artists are so thought-provoking.
Right.
And it's amazing that they can communicate that way. It has me thinking, boy, what is my son thinking about? Maybe he needs to do some more art, because this is their way of expression. This is how they talk about things. And so listening to Johnette and hearing her from Saturday and even now, like you said, the message is loud and very clear. So well done. Well done.
There was another artist, Sage Milan. She did a piece with collage and magazine clip-outs, and there's a little clip on it that said, I hope I get this right. I hope I don't mess it up. It says, the clothes won't change the world as something but the women who wear them would. After I read that, I sat there for a second. I looked at myself, and I thought, this is absolutely correct. We are powerful. Like we are powerful in our own rights, in our own, in our own position, our own expression from what we wear and how we express ourselves. As beautiful as you are in this pink, we are still powerful in this. It doesn't matter what we have on.
Right.
And I thought it was amazing because she did a magazine collage with all these different things, and she put that one little statement to the top, and I thought, wow. And like you said, these are children.
Yes.
And so
it's amazing what they have going on up here.
Okay,
And we need to know it, and it's coming out in the art. Now we want to move on to you, Denzel, because like I said, you are one of those artists that would have had lots of experience. It's been quite some time. This is your second year in ArtLucaya, and last year, I want to say that you were a part of the professional gallery from the first year. Is that the case?
Yes.
From the first year, and that makes you one of the youngest artists that would have been in that gallery last year. So thinking about last year and this year, what did you do different that you didn't do last year that came out just blatantly this year?
Last year, I tried to be innovative with a piece and step outside my comfort zone. Just played along with my last name, trying to find my identity still at this stage in my career. And I just had fun with my piece last year. I did it more so like an installation piece. And then this year, I just trusted my gut feeling on what to showcase this year. So it was more simple, like what I was trying to elaborate and show the people. And yeah, just this year, I just wanted to have fun, you know. I just wanted to be innovative again. It didn't quite go the way I wanted it to, but I still was pleased with the outcome of everything and how people received my work. So I only was able to do one piece this year, but I feel like it really resonated with everyone that's seen it, and it related to a certain moment of their childhood. And I just love this theme this year, Show Me Emotion. It really allowed me to dig deep and find a childlike spirit within my piece. So the piece is called The Streetlights Watched Us More Than Our Parents Did. And with that title, I just wanted to strike a conversation with everyone that saw my piece and, you know, just reminisce about the good old days where you went outside for, you know, a couple hours, have to get back in before the streetlights
come
cut
on.
Right? And yeah, a lot of people loved the piece. And what I try to do, like with my work, I try to always make sure that it's straight on to the point where you don't have to second guess what you're looking at. Not saying that, you know, work like that isn't important. That's not what I'm saying at all.
It's just what you wanted for your piece this year.
Yeah, when people when they see my work, I want them to see a moment in time, hopefully in your childhood, that you could, you know, look back on and be ecstatic about and be proud about. And if you look at the piece, it's really just a little boy riding his bike, and then you have this sort of street light bending, looking over him. And I wanted to really let people know that in this universe that God has created, I feel like a lot of things are looking out for us, things that we don't even know are around, things that we cannot see. It's a lot of angels protecting us and a lot of, you know, just things that God has placed before us that we cannot see. And there are actually stuff out there that has your best interest. Not all the time, you know, people are out to get you or things are out to get you. I just want people to realize that things are bending to our will, and what may seem as impossible is actually possible. So
I like these deep messages that are coming out of our
Yeah.
artists here.
Yes,
I mean,
yes.
he's diving deep. He's giving a good explanation. I'm thinking when I first saw this painting, I'm like, oh, I remember that life.
Yes.
Outside, riding the bike, under the street lights. And then he's coming here now and talking about, oh, you know, things are going to bend towards you and work in your favor no matter what it looks like. You know, like, oh, he's taking me a whole other way around this now.
Right.
Right.
And I think it's so important. The show was impactful because most times people would come into a gallery, but the artists aren't here if they miss the opening nights, and they don't have an opportunity to hear from the artist what your experience was creating the art, what it means to you. And I think this is a great opportunity for people, the community at large, to hear, you know, and be able to understand and experience, because as you're talking, you're taking us on that journey with you, and it changes my perception of your work.
Yes.
So when I looked at your work originally, I thought of symbolism and I thought of circles, but I didn't pay much attention to dance. And after talking to you about it, I realized, you know what? That's absolutely correct. Her lady is in there and doing a dance. So it's wonderful to hear you contribute that. Now, Glendia had asked you earlier, I want to plug right back there. When you did ArtLucaya the first time, okay, when it was done and it was all said and done, did you think, oh wow, I can't wait till next year?
Of course, yeah.
You did?
Because I knew it would grow. I knew it would. There's no reason for it not to grow. Other artists on the outside looking in, they're gonna be like, I want to be a part of that next year. I want to make sure that my work is displayed and I am represented, in this space, because we have a bunch of different artists from all walks of life, but there's always room for more representation.
You're throwing that out there, Denzel, now. I don't know about Glendia, but now that I've painted with Ben at the community mural.
And that makes you...
Exploring my artistic ability, Claudette said the same thing.
It's a work of art herself.
Is ArtLucaya going? Is ArtLucaya going to have a newbie section?
So that you can be there next year.
Yeah. Tell me you don't feel inspired when you're sitting in this room around all this art.
No, I do.
You don't feel like you want to just paint something?
Not in this moment, but to be honest, when I was here on Saturday, on Friday, and then Saturday, and then Sunday, I did feel it. I did feel it. And I am not an artist that may be able to create something that can be in a gallery like this, but I'm sure there are one or two things that I can do to express me.
Definitely.
Right? And I'm sure that there are other persons that may feel that way. So, I guess Alex just threw the idea out there, something for you guys to consider, right? But we definitely look to ArtLucaya to come back again 2025. We're hoping to see that happen, and we're hoping to see all of you as well. That would be wonderful. Now, just before we wrap up, because I know that we have to go, I just want to throw a quick question out there and give everybody just a little 10 seconds to tell me, what are your feelings? You've come now to the second year for the show, hoping for another year. What does this mean to you to be recognized and celebrated within your own community in Grand Bahama for your artwork? Claudette?
Well, I think it's been a long time coming. Grand Bahama has so much talent, and to have now ArtLucaya, a beautiful, well-done, curated space. Now you're going to have Antonius Roberts on board, and Grand Bahama is going to shine, and we'll all be able to shine, and it helps the community and it helps everybody, so it's fantastic.
Great, awesome. Great. Jeanette?
Personally, for me, I'm just really grateful to be given the opportunity to share my message, and as a student, this goes to a really good cause for me and other students alike, so I'm just really proud that I can be a part of this and also represent not myself but my school and God as well.
Wonderful, awesome. Wonderful. Denzel?
For me, it's such a fulfilling feeling. Like you get to express yourself to a wider audience, and it's just a great platform to not only showcase to Grand Bahamians, but the world. The world is watching as well. A lot of people think that just because we're such a small island, that we're not making a global impact. I think we are, and I think a lot of people are paying attention. And for that, I'm grateful to be alongside all these talented artists and for the opportunity to grow for next year and years to come.
Okay. Well, there you have it, guys. ArtLucaya, the wonderful artist here from Grand Bahama. It's so exciting to be in their presence, and even more exciting to be in these galleries that they have prepared for the community, for supporters and persons who just want to come out, see, and experience. So again, thank you guys so much for being with us. That ArtLucaya footprint, that's here. It's here in Grand Bahama. And so we are looking forward to what's going to come for years to come. And so Grand Bahama, Nassau, everybody who is watching right now, you have an opportunity to support these artists. If you're going to be in Freeport, or if you are not, you can always go to the ArtLucaya Facebook page. There you'll be able to find information about how you can go about going on the Canoe platform and possibly making your own purchases, taking a look at all of the artwork and everything that is here. And if you are here on the island, come to the Tanamar Gallery, go over to Kanoa, visit Calibri, look at all of the art pieces that we've been talking about and everything that's being presented here. And of course, you know, we're just excited to see what happens. May, the end of May, the last day of May, I believe it's May 31st. That is when it's going to close. So you have a lot of time, but you have a little bit of time.
And it's all free.
So yes, and it's all
It's
free.
all
It's
free.
all free to come in, take a look. The wonderful ladies here will be here to receive you, answer any questions that you may have. You have an opportunity to be able to support. And again, the proceeds from the show will be going to the participating schools. So thank you, Jeanette, from LIS, Bishop Michael Eldon, Sunland, all of the schools, Jack A. Wood High that would have participated. We appreciate you, the student artists and the teachers that would have worked with them. Now, Focus Forward is here for you each and every week. We want you to continue to watch because so much is going on. Our very next show is going to be a grand opening that's happening here on the island of Grand Bahama within the city of Freeport. We're talking about more business. So when you go to that investment projects map, you just can drop it in there. When you go to the investment projects map and you see all of those projects, I want you to know they are real projects. And every time we have a chance to be on the ground, we will be on the ground. And for this one that's coming up, just dropping that T in there.
Just dropping the T.
We will be there. So we will be able to showcase that and show
clear,
that to you.
It's one of those investments on the investment map that's having a grand opening.
Yes.
And we're going to be there.
And we will be there.
Live on location.
Live on location. So we're looking forward to having you guys. Alex, great show today.
It was a fantastic show. You know, I'm inspired.
You should be.
I'm inspired.
And you're going to be drawing some more shadows.
Yes.
Just as
Thank you,
important.
Denzel. Very important.
You know, I'm not trying to downgrade the shadow. She's done more than I would have done. You know.
And I will be dancing.
But you'll be learning how to do those shadows.
Yes, that's what
All right. Thank you so much, guys. So until next time, I'm Gwendia Sweeting.
And I'm Alex Thompson.
Informing you on the positive things that happen when you focus forward.
Listening to Focus Forward, sponsored by Invest Grand Bahama. Like us on Facebook at Invest Grand Bahama Small Business Bureau to stay updated.
And drop a business card at the Grand Bahama Port Authority receptionist desk to have your business featured on our show. Tune in next Thursday,
same time,
same place,
for Focus Forward.